Another Fox News alert for you now on the efforts by some Democrats to change Obamacare. They say they're offering a series of fixes to make it work better. But will Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid bring that to the floor? Senator Joe Manchin appearing on our show just moments ago.
Well, Senator Reid, I believe, understands quite well that there needs to be changes. And that if you can't meet the deadlines, you know really that the consumer's not willing to accept the product. So we're trying to, basically change the product.
Is he going to bring it to the floor, though? Is he going to bring it to the floor? Have you spoken to him?
I think we have spoken to him. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We have spoken to Harry about, and the leadership, that there needs to be substantial changes, and these are good, honest, qualified changes that need to happen. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't. But
what about the
we'll
White
see.
House? Well, joining us now, Tony Saig, Fox News contributor, and Bernard Whitman, former pollster for President Clinton and a Democratic strategist. All right, Bernard, is Harry Reid going to bring this to the floor?
I certainly hope he does, and here's why. I think that these proposals are great. I'm a huge fan of Mark Warner and a lot of the other senators. There's a couple of parts in these initiatives which make a lot of sense. One, having a copper plan available to increase the choice for consumers. I strongly support that. Two,
but that already existed. Bernard, that already existed. That was the bad apple plan that the president wanted to get rid of.
Well, you know
this
what?
high, catastrophic kind of insurance.
It is high deductible. It's low premium, high deductible. We need to offer that to consumers. I've always said this plan, Obamacare in general, is a great start, but it's not an end of itself. It's a means to an end. 100 million people have already benefited.
Then why didn't they write it that way to begin with? Why didn't they allow people to keep those plans to begin with, Tony?
Well, Gretchen, the whole idea, honestly, is so cynical when you think about these Democrats right now pretending that this is a legitimate strategy when even Senator Manchin himself can't tell you Harry Reid is going to allow any bills to come to the floor that alter Obamacare. And even if he were to do it, the president won't support it. Why? He doesn't want legislative fixes.
Well, he wouldn't answer that question.
Exactly. Well, why did they not put the copper plan in the first place? Because they call these predatory plans, and the whole idea was to get young people off of these very cheap plans and have to buy into the bronze and silver plans to fund the expansion of Medicaid, which is essentially what Obamacare is.
The whole point of Obamacare is to bring down health care costs and cover more people. That is exactly what is happening. And by increasing choice, increasing competition, and allowing, for example, looking at models to have state insurance be sold across state lines, these are fixes that make sense.
But those are not the fixes they're talking about.
They
guys,
are the fixes.
Speaking of elections, I got to get to this, because the race for the White House, I know it seems a long ways away, but it's not. 2016. And what New Jersey Governor Chris Christie just had to say about a presidential bid. Take a listen.
I certainly am not, at this point, going to make any decision on it.
Well, you've always said that you've never just ruled it in, you've never ruled it out,
right.
At this point.
And I won't at this point. There's certainly nothing that's happened in the last, number of months since we talked about this the last time that would make me think any differently about my ability to be able to pursue that job or to perform in it.
Except for the bridge scandal, which ironically today, Tony, the first report that came out has cleared, exonerated Governor Chris Christie. So my question to you is, if he's exonerated completely, will the media give him a fair shake? Because a lot of people would argue that during this whole scandal, some people didn't.
Absolutely not. I think the media will continue to target Chris Christie because he is the biggest threat to the Democratic Party and the potential bid of Hillary Clinton for president in 2016. We've seen the internal report come out saying Christie did not know about it. In fact, they even said only Bridget Kelly, as far as the senior staff, had something to really do with this, number one. Number two, even the more hostile investigation being done by the Senate and Assembly Democrats in New Jersey on Chris Christie have basically said Christie still had nothing to do with it after reviewing hundreds of thousands of communications. So to think that there's going to be a long-term negative impact on Christie is wishful thinking.
Not quite. Christie's BFF, former BFF, David Wildstein, also said today that, in fact, he told the governor on 9/11. Now, the governor conveniently forgot that conversation, but Wildstein is on record saying, in fact, he told the governor. And here's the problem. It exposed Chris Christie as a bully. Whether he directed it, whether he knew about it, whether he's lying about it, I'm not quite sure. But he certainly, as I've said before repeatedly on this program, created a culture where it was okay for people around him and in his employ to use political bullying tactics
about whether or
to
not he
extract
actually
concessions.
knew about it and whether or not the media will give him a fair shake if he's exonerated. Guys, we got way too much news going on today, which is a great thing, but that means I got to say ta-ta to you right now.
Ta-ta.
Okay? Bye.